Hello friends, I am your Ielts buddy to assist you in your Ielts training. On first day of a training, I am going to give you an introduction to Ielts. Ielts stands for International English Language Testing System. It is designed to judge the English proficiency of candidates, and Ielts is jointly managed worldwide by Cambridge ESOL, British Council and IDP Australia. Now let's talk about who can appear for Ielts. Candidates who want to study in Canada, Australia, the UK, USA, New Zealand and some European countries. And it is also for the individuals who want to migrate to Canada, Australia, UK and New Zealand. Person who is more than 16 years and has a valid passport can appear for Ielts. Now let's talk about formats of Ielts. It is for general training and even for academic. Academic Ielts is for students who want to study abroad and professional like doctors, pharmacists and nurses also. And general training is for that, like Ielts is for candidates who want to migrate to countries that we have earlier mentioned. What is the format of the exam? There are 4 modules in Ielts, that is listening, reading, writing and speaking. Now first module is listening module and approximately 30 minutes are given to students and plus 10 minutes extra for transfer time. The test is divided into 4 sections and each section has 10 questions and number of questions total are 40 questions. Students get a question booklet on which the questions are printed. The tape is then played and students write answers simultaneously while the tape is going on. Students get the time to look at the question before the listening starts and check their work at the end of each section. The second module of Ielts is reading. That is of 60 minutes and no extra time is given to student to transfer answer. It means student has to write down the answer directly on the answer sheet meanwhile doing the reading. Now number of questions in reading are 40 and number of passages are 3. Academic reading and general reading are different from each other. First of all, about academic reading. Academic reading passages are based on research, case studies, biography and they are argumentative. They are taken from journals, textbooks and websites. It becomes progressively difficult. And the general training reading passages are taken from newspapers, magazines, catalogs and websites also. At least one section contains detailed argumentative text. And the number of passages are 3 for both general reading and academic reading. And the division of question is according to this, like first passage contains 13 to 14 questions, passage 2 contains 13 to 14 questions and passage 3 also contains 13 to 14 questions. But this case differs with general reading in which passages are subdivided into small sections. Third module in Ielts is writing. That is also of same 60 minutes and there are 2 tasks in writing, task 1 and task 2 for both academic training and general training candidates. Similarly, like reading, academic writing is also different from the general candidates. In academic writing, task 1 is also of 20 minutes but it is data representation, means diagram representation. Students have to represent the diagram by looking at the diagram. That can be a bar chart, pie chart, table, line graph, flow chart, process, life cycle, map and more. It can be combination of more than one charts that contain detailed information about anything. And the word limit for task 1 is 150 words for both academic and general training. Now task 2, that is essay topic, that students have to write within 40 minutes but the time is given only 60 minutes. So it depends upon students how they want to utilize their time. And the word limit for writing task 2 is 250 words. The topic can be on environment, pollution, education and many more topics. Now talk about general training. In task 1, students have to write down a letter but the time limit is same, that is 20 minutes and 150 words. The letter can be informal, formal and semi-formal. Task 2 is also essay topic, but it's about day-to-day life, for example, society, children, family, education. And the word limit is same as academic writing, that is 250 words. Now, the last module of IELTS is speaking. It is conducted on the other day of the exam, that is listening, reading and writing, that are arranged only on one day, and the speaking is conducted on the another day. Now, speaking is total of 11 to 15 minutes. It can be 14 minutes, it can be 11 minutes. It is called as one-to-one interview. It can be a face-to-face interview. It has three parts. Part 1 is introductory part that contains interview and introductory questions, and it lasts for 4 to 5 minutes, and number of questions are 4 to 5, but it can vary. Sometimes examiner can ask number of questions, but time is 4 to 5 minutes. The second part is of 3 minutes. That means 1 minute for preparation and 2 minutes to speak. In this part, student has to give answer in a long turn. Candidates gets a cue card with a topic on which he or she has to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, and as he or she gets 1 minute time to prepare for the topic before he or she starts to speak. Examiner also asks 1 or 2 follow-up questions when the candidate stops speaking. Now about part 3, that is also of 4 to 5 minutes, and this type is actually extended discourse. Examiner asks questions that are thematically linked to the topic of part 2, and the questions are more of abstract nature. Now that's end of your introduction to IELTS. In our further lessons we will discuss all the modules in brief. Goodbye.